I never imagined the cracks in my world would start at home, between people I loved the most. My name is Emily, and I'm 22, the eldest daughter of a quiet family in Asheville, North Carolina. My sister, Lila, is 4 years younger than me, bright-eyed, a little naive, always full of laughter. She was the one I protected, the one I guided. But this story I'm about to tell, it changed how I saw everything. It started almost a year ago when I introduced Derek to my family. Derek was the kind of man every girl dreams about. Kind, tall, calm, with a quiet confidence that made you feel safe. We met at college in Chapel Hill, and within months, we were serious. He met my parents. He helped my mom cook dinner. He fixed the fence with my dad one Saturday afternoon. They adored him. And Lila, she was just the silly little sister who teased me about him, like younger sisters do. She called him Mr. Serious and giggled when he raised an eyebrow. At first, I found it harmless. Sweet even. She was a child in his eyes, or so I believed. But something shifted slowly, and I began to notice. It started with Derek's gaze. Not frequent, not obvious. Just a second too long when Lila walked in with her sketchbook or sat cross-legged in front of the TV, eating cereal from the box. Once, I saw him glance at her reflection in the window when she was adjusting her hoodie. I told myself I was imagining things. He was mine. He loved me. He would never cross a line like that. But then came the words. Subtle compliments, always said in my presence, always wrapped in something harmless. Your sister's got a sharp mind, he once told me. She's not like most high schoolers. Another time, she's going to be a heartbreaker someday, just wait. I laughed nervously, unsure whether to feel proud or unsettled. One quiet afternoon, I came home early from a part-time job interview. The house was quiet. Mom had gone to visit a neighbor. Dad was still at work. I heard voices out on the porch, Derek and Lila, talking. I didn't interrupt at first, but something about their laughter made my stomach twist. When I stepped outside, Lila looked surprised. Derek smiled like nothing was out of place, but her cheeks were red. His hands were shoved in his jacket pockets. There was a silence too still for comfort. That night, I asked Lila what they were talking about. She said they were just discussing art. He said I have an eye for it, she added, grinning. I didn't sleep that night. I tried to stay calm. I told myself I was being overprotective, maybe even jealous. But then came the final moment, the one that broke everything open. It happened one Saturday. My parents were out of town for a family reunion in Georgia. Lila and I were home, and Derek came over to drop off a book. I opened the door, and he said he had something for Lila too, something about the painting she sent him last week. I froze. What painting? I asked. Lila stepped in from the hallway, looking like a child caught sneaking cookies. It was nothing, she mumbled. I just emailed it to him. I wanted his opinion. You emailed him? My voice cracked. Since when do you two email? Derek raised his hands. Emily, relax. She's talented. I just encouraged her, that's all. But the damage was done. I saw the truth, unspoken but heavy, in their eyes. That night, after he left, I confronted Lila. I demanded to see the messages. She refused. You don't trust me? She said, her voice breaking. No, I whispered. Right now, I don't. Sleep wouldn't come for many nights. In the weeks that followed, I watched every movement, every word, every glance. I didn't know if anything had happened between them. Maybe it hadn't. Maybe it was just attention, curiosity, something they didn't fully understand. But even that was enough to change everything. I stopped taking Derek's calls. I didn't ask for an explanation. I didn't need one. Eventually, I told my parents. I didn't go into detail. I just said the relationship wasn't right anymore. They were surprised, but they didn't question me much. Lila stayed quiet, her eyes full of guilt, but her lips sealed. Maybe she didn't want to make things worse. Maybe she didn't know how to. I packed my things and moved to Raleigh. Rented a small room, got a job, and began to rebuild. I still see Lila when I visit for holidays. We sit in the same kitchen, pass each other the salt, smile for photos. But something is missing now. Trust, maybe, or the ease we once had. I don't ask her about Derek. She never brings him up. I hope he's far away from her now. But part of me wonders if he's still somewhere close, in her phone, in her inbox, in her memory. People ask me if I still believe in love. I do. But I'm more careful now. I read between the lines. I listen to the silence between words. I pay attention to the people I trust with my heart and the ones I trust with my family. Because sometimes the deepest cuts come from the people standing closest. And sometimes the strongest kind of love is the one that lets go and walks away. Sometimes at night, I still think about that porch, the quiet afternoon, the way their laughter carried through the screen door. I wonder if things might have been different if I'd stepped in sooner, or if I'd trusted my instincts more. But regret is a slow poison. It doesn't fix the past. It just lingers in the bones. I've learned not all betrayals come with clear lines or confessions. Some arrive quietly, like shadows stretching across the floor, creeping in without permission. Lila and I are still rebuilding, one silent gesture at a time. We're polite at dinners, careful with our words. But I miss the version of her I used to know. The one who chased butterflies with me, the one who never kept secrets. Maybe someday we'll find our way back to each other completely. But I know now, love is not just about who you let into your heart. It's about who you trust to protect the people inside it.